it wouldn't be a story of my becoming if I did not tell you guys about my business. The love of my life, for sure, for sure, for sure. For the longest time, it did feel like my sad was more sad than the usual sad. When it rained, it definitely poured. Consider this podcast a love letter from me to you. In this episode, I want to talk about me starting my business and the emotional roller coaster of it all, because I experienced some emotions that I didn't even understand. Where is this coming from? My business has highly contributed to my growth today. I have told this story several times, but maybe not the emotional aspect of it, just the story of beginning my business. And I have a whole series on my business page just talking about the steps that I've taken, till date. If you don't know, if you're listening to this, I have a business called Closet Plug. It's a fashion business. I started my business the year 2018. I talk about starting it from a desperate point because I remember my dad had bought me this phone. It was actually one of my most expensive phones. Okay, now I have an iPhone, but then I think it was a Samsung A7, I believe. I don't know, it was a something. And it was very small. Like, as soon as I lost that phone, it was no longer in market, and it was the most beautiful phone. I absolutely loved it. And I think I had it for like maybe 2 weeks or like a week, and I lost it. I lost it like, it wasn't stolen. It was raining. I remember just putting my phone in my bag, and then after a few minutes, I like checking my bag, and there was no phone. So I don't know if it fell down. I don't remember what happened, or it was stolen. I don't remember what happened. But I remember feeling so much despair that night, and I cried. I've talked about this incident where I say, uh, that's when I noticed that my emotions spiral, especially when it comes to like a negative situation. I will really like go off, think about all the bad things that have happened to me in my life. So I had one of those moments. As Samantha Nyakoe does, she channeled her pain into like this idea. It was the time when I just joined university, maybe in my second year, and people would compliment like my outfit. Where do you get like this pants? And I used to wear high waisted pants very much. My body is the small waist, big lower body type of body. So high waist pants are literally made, I think, for like I used to wear pants and people would ask me, did you have to tailor that? Like, did you just buy it like that? I'm like, yeah, I bought it in this original state. So people would be very surprised that my pants fit so perfectly. And then I got the idea. So I remember asking my friend. My friend took me to Gikomba, and she was like, "Oh, here," because I think I'd seen her selling them online, but she didn't really do it as like a permanent job. So she was just like, "Yeah, sure, I'll show you." She took me to Gikomba, showed me around, and then she was just like, "This is where I got it." And then I got a few. I tell people that I actually started my business with 300 bob. I believe it was that 300 bob or like 1,000 bob? Let's not say 300 because I think, no, it's probably 300 or even 500 bob, because uh, I used to get these pants at like 30 bob, and then like I would resell them at like 400 bob. Hey, nye thrift people, tumeanza mbali, like tulianza kitambo, because nowadays there's the whole notion that thrift businesses are very expensive. But that aside, so I would resell them, and then I think in like 3 weeks time I'd already made my money back. At that time I probably had like 20, I had like 3,000 followers on Instagram. So I would just post them on my story. I had no idea that I could, like start a whole business. Like, I just wanted to sell and get a phone. And then I sold, and then like now people would see, and then they're just like, oh my God, I want like that one. This is my size. And people would start now giving me orders, which I would gladly take. But then I remember a friend of mine in uni, uh, he just DM'd me. It's like, oh my God, you should start a page, like call it maybe Samantha's Closet, and like just post them out there. I was like, you can see a vision where that happens, like where I've started a business. I feel like this person was very business minded, but me in my head, I'm like, you can see that happening. So I started my page and then I just started posting now on there. Now I feel like now the responsibilities became so great. I was just like, oh my God, I didn't know I would spend so much time doing this. So I would be going to Gikomba like twice a week, just talk and then post on Instagram and then sell. I believe I had a very successful thrift store. I tell people that. And I believe that was the beginning of growing like a community, because I remember so many thrift stores were following me. So many girls who want to start businesses were following me. So I just felt like I was very much aligned with my purpose, especially when it comes to like just my content creation journey and like what I want it to be about. And that time I saw impact. Like I saw myself and my brand making impact by now me starting this business and inspiring other people to want to know what I do, how I do it. And at some point I felt like my business was way popular than me. I feel like I don't know the balance right now. I'm hoping my business is way popular than me, honestly. That's the goal. But my business, like I would meet people and they're just like, you're that girl, you're closet plug. I still meet people who call me closet plug and not Samantha. And at some point I used to be just like, how do you know my business and you don't know my name? Like, why, I never used to appreciate that fact until I got up and I was just like, oh, that's actually what branding is. That's branding. I should be proud that people are now referring me to me using my business name, like a name that I literally started from scratch, and they're using it to refer to this thing that now I have built, this community, of women who appreciate this vintage outfits that I sell. So that's how I started like my independence. That's how I remember I started feeling strong in my sense of self. And I started like building my self-esteem because now I could handle my things. I'm paying my bills. I have a purpose. I have like a routine. I go to Gikomba this amount of time. I do this, and also I'm developing relationships. And there's a lot of interest being sparked around what I do. I remember even doing like newspaper interviews where people would reach out and they're like, "Oh, we like your business." Oh my God, I'm really that G. Wow. Like now that I think about it, I feel like it's been such a journey. So I can't fail to mention my experience in Gikomba, because I remember, oh, now it's like like a memory, like at the back of my head, because it's been such a minute since I went to the market. I believe I haven't been there probably for a year. Even the reason I haven't been for like a year is because like leaving was very emotional for me. Whilst I was there, I created such like friendships and like bonds with the people at the market. And I think people normally don't understand, even when I try to explain them to them in like a logic way, telling them, oh, by the way, I'm not able to give you these people's contacts because even though I have them, right now I have them at a friendship capacity. I don't really have them at, oh, that's a guy who used to sell like, trousers. I don't even know if these people are still there. Like it's been very many years later. But I really, really experienced a beautiful sense of community while there. And by this, I mean, these people cared about the success of my business. And it was shown in the small ways where I would go and then they're just like, oh my God, Samantha, nilikuwa nimekuwekea hizi kumi, translation. I had set aside like some pants for you. I had set aside some clothes for you that I think you would like, that are in your taste. So we kind of developed a relationship, almost like a friendship, where they cared that I had the best things and they would keep them for me. And I was literally like I was that person for them. Like I was that customer, and I feel like I really learned a lot about like my aura during that period, because it did feel like I was in this big market and God had really placed me and had brought people to help me and make it easier for me as I navigate through this. Oh my God, as I say it, I'm seeing how powerful just that whole experience was for me, because those people really changed my life. I don't think I can thank them enough, but they really, really, really changed my life just by being very nice to me. And That's where now, treatments like that and meeting someone who is very excited to see you every other week, it would make me now start thinking about myself. I'm just like, oh my God, I must be a really lovely person. I must have some really nice energy. There's something about me that, like that makes them want to help me, want to assist. That was a beautiful experience. Thank you so much. Like, thank you so much to the people that I met in that market and the people who made it such a beautiful experience. I also dealt with emotions of doubt, like whilst doing this thing, which is thrifting. I remember, like now there was comparison. First of all, I have inspired people. There's a lot of businesses now coming up, a lot of thrift stores. I feel like now in my head, I'm seeing, okay, they're all selling high waist pants. They've seen that it's like successful, or like the pants are moving, or like they're on demand, and now a lot of people are doing it. So I remember the first year I had a lot of people, like I could tell this person is literally using my content, and not even my content, like they sound like me, like even the way they're talking on their pages. I blocked a couple of businesses actually on Closet Plug that I felt like were very much impersonating like what I'm trying to do. And now I think that time I was going through like a whole identity with the business. I'm just like, is this going to like stand? Is it going to be a bit shaky? Am I going to be able to navigate like these challenges? And am I also going to be able to like get an identity and come out as Closet Plug? Am a Closet Plug is just going to be just one of those stores, like just like the rest of them. Those are some of the thoughts that I used to have. And I remember I also faced a couple of like I used to have like some sort of self judgment, especially because of the fact that it's a thrift store. And then on the flip side, I'm a content creator, I'm a bit popular. And so I feel like I would get some sort of, I remember even in uni, this girl being like, oh, Ati, when do you normally go to Gikomba? Oh, for real? And it's almost like they would not believe that I would go to Gikomba and like I would do it every other day. So I feel like I attached like some of those things with like suffering, and I'm just like, oh my God, people think like I'm suffering because I'm going to buy secondhand clothes. So I really struggled with emotions of all like shame, or feeling like my business is not like enough, like they're not new clothes, they're second hand, they're also going for this price. They must think that, like I don't like, because like 400 bob, like think about it right now, 400 bob is kidogo money. But then, and like me selling the amount of pieces I was selling, then I was just like, you know what, like this makes sense for me. I'm able to pay my rent, I have my own money. And some of these things now afterwards is when you realize, oh, people are still trying to start their businesses and I already started mine. The journey always makes sense. At some point, you literally need to trust the process. I faced a lot of like now emotions around like shame towards my business, and these are things that I would question, and I would ask myself, why am I feeling like this? And am I at a point of saturation where now I feel like I need to move a step further and like now make this business something else? So I think what happened is I really now started admiring now fashion brands in Kenya. And I was just like, you know what? I want to be in the same pool of, like category as these people. I don't want to be just a cheap store because now we are too many. I want to be a Kenyan made fashion brand. And this was only made possible because of my audience. And over the years, my audience would plant seeds, they would validate me, and they would tell me things like, oh my God, Samantha, your clothes are going to slap. Like, if you ever decide to make clothes, I feel like you're going to do some really amazing work. If you ever decide to like stop thrifting, and I think you should, like introduce things that are now made by you. So people really believed in me in that aspect. And I started now seeing it. I was like, you know what? Maybe I could start. And thank you guys for planting the seeds. And I think that's when you realize community is very important. I think 2 years ago is when now I decided to now take the leap of faith and be like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to rebrand. And before then, I even like when I started now producing like the new made clothes, I would do it alongside the thrifting. I still could feel like my energies were very, like I was on the edge. I'm just like, do I still want to go thrifting? I just started feeling like It's so tiring. I don't want to, like I'm so tired of going again and again. I felt like now the dead stock that was left was now piling up in my house. Like I started almost growing detached from the thrifting aspect of things, the second hand aspect of things. I also felt like I wanted more. I also felt like I just felt like I wanted more. I just felt like this is not it. And it felt like I was at a point where after a line, like there's nothing more. Like there's nothing to look forward to. Yes, I wanted to build excitement and also I wanted new challenges. I was tired of the same old routine going, coming back, wearing. I was so tired. Actually, I was tired of the wearing because I used to model them myself and like 30 to 40 pieces, 30 to 50 pieces sometimes, and I would get so tired. So you kind of start like hating your job or your business, and that's basically what happened. And I started like disassociating myself from now that, and I just wanted to experience a different type of business system structure. So yeah, that's how I rebranded. That also came with now its doubts and also now me feeling like I don't belong. Now I am like like an amateur. Like I just started something. Although I really really like starting things. Like right now I'm a podcaster. I like starting things. I like being a learner, a beginner. It was a very like I was just like, yes, now my energy's back. Although now getting a tailor, I remember my first tailor, she was a woman, and she used to live in Limuru. So she would do the clothes and then now she sends them to town and then now I go and receive them and then I pack them. Sometimes like maybe they would get late and then I'd be getting a matatu all the way from Limuru just to like for like waiting for it, waiting, talking to the conductor. Like it was a bit stressful. Then this tailor one day she just woke up and she was just like, "Yep, I can do this." Because I feel like now the order started becoming main, in terms of wrap skirts. So you can imagine I have launched like a product and I'm like navigating between these two. This product is way expensive. It was actually 7 times more expensive than my initial product. I was so scared. Like she just quit on me. I remember my anxiety was crazy. I remember I remember there was a day I was walking in town and literally I found my friends on the road and I started crying. I was like, hey, a lot is happening. Business is like I am about to be like messed up. Like they're about to expose me on the internet that I am not even selling what I am saying I am selling because there's no tailor and orders are coming in and I'm too ashamed to tell people that my tail has quit on me. So I remember I went to Ngara, I started looking for a tailor. I would tell anyone, like you meet someone and then you start small talk, maybe then I tafuta fundi, unajua fundi, like, do you know a tailor? I would literally tell everyone all my problems. And then I think my current tailor, I just entered one of my friends' shops and the delivery guy inside there was just like, "Oh, by the way, I have this tailor. He stays here in I can connect you guys. What?" And then I was just like, "Yes!" Immediately took the number, took some material, went to that tailor, and then I was just like, and that's after I've tried several people. I was like, "Okay, here's my product. I want you to replicate it." And we started working together since then, and I remember being so happy because he did such an amazing job. I was just like, again, talk to the universe and the universe is going to answer, because literally that happened. And it's almost like God would send people to just help me along the way. That happened. I rebranded. I faced challenges in between, most of them being, like capital, like the usual capital, the usual systems, also like employing people. And then one day they just wake up and they're like, "Oh, hi, Samantha. I don't think this is going to work. Maybe I got another job, what. I feel like now with my business, I've learned the art of letting go, because I've had maybe 4 5 people work for me and also leave since I started now like employing people. I also employed my friends. I think I gave 2 of my friends, like, like it was like a side gig. You're going to just help me, with this part. I'll pay you like this a certain amount of money. And I think with one of the friends, One of the friends that such as like one of the friends is like a business owner, so she was using it just like as a part time, and she was really helping me. So I remember when she left, it was it. I had no expectations of her, but my other friend, I feel like now when she came to tell me I'm out, I really didn't take it well, and I feel like our friendship kind of was shaken a bit. It was shaken a bit. So I don't think it's something we've talked about, but I remember it was just a bit awkward, like especially when she was just like, yeah, I don't think I can do this anymore. Because now, as a business owner, just like, you're gonna leave me alone. How am I gonna handle all these things? But that happened, and I have I slowly needed to learn to just let go of people, especially when it comes to the business, and be the center of the business. That's my biggest lesson in business, like in terms of like friendships, not mixing friends and like the business. I have never tried to work with family. I'm a bit skeptical with that also, because I try to do things on my own. That has been my experience with Closet Plug. I feel like the moments of doubt kind of ended. Like they're always there with businesses. There are days you wake up, you're just like, oh my God, I need to wake up. I need to make money. I need to show up for my business. But the feelings of like shame, dissatisfaction, I feel like over the years, especially now with me rebranding and me now learning like my systems and everything, they're kind of less, because I don't think I find myself like comparing a lot. I feel like I've found like some sort of identity where I know this is my niche, this is what I like to do, this is what we sell, this is the type of story I'm trying to tell. And it's been such a beautiful journey, and also very, very empowering. I have found like really nice people also, like just people who work with me and who are part of the team. And I have interacted with very lovely humans, like I said, even like from when my business began in the market, even when I now met my current tailors. I feel like there's just some sort of connection, and like you're just like, oh my God, these people are really nice people. And now they understand that I have a dream, and they're really doing their best to also like fuel this dream. So it's very, very beautiful to see, because also people like you who are watching me, if you've bought from my business, you are the people who are fueling this dream. And it's very, very beautiful to be part of. And it's been a very lovely journey. And also, I learned the other day that, you see, the way people say you can only meet someone as far as they've met themselves. Now, when it comes to business, you can only, like, your business can only grow in the same level of your growth. Meditate upon that. It's just like, yeah, like, there has to be a lot of personal growth that goes hand in hand with now you, as now, I guess, the business owner, the founder, the CEO. It goes hand in hand. So I think my business has challenged me to like introspect, think about myself, think about how I treat people. I was very big on that, especially when I used to interact with people in the market. I would be very big on, like, I need to treat these people with kindness. And it might have made me a better person. Actually, my business has made me a better person. Even when I interact with people, when I interact with my customers, when I meet them, I always come from a place of genuine like appreciation. So that is very beautiful to experience. And I am very grateful for like my business. It has given me wings in so many ways. Yeah, I think entrepreneurship is a very beautiful journey, and you should probably try it. It's very satisfying. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please leave a comment, share this episode with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.